All right.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahawah Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawah, Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai. The camera's rolling just to catch everybody up to speed as we're just flowing in the spirit coming into the new moon of the 4th month. First of all, I want to say all praise to the Most High God, Yahawah, Bahashim Mashiach Yahushai. The water to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, or Barakatha to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. I'm Captain Ra'am of YAHAWAH'S camp. We're just flowing in the spirit. I got a few officers here with me, and we're going into a few things going into Tammuz. So before the camera was actually rolling, we were just talking as brothers in the spirit about, just this month. And so as we're coming into month number 4, when you look into it, the month is called Tammuz, right? And then I know it may trip a lot of brothers and sisters up on Tammuz, because we've heard that name before. A lot of us has heard the name Tammuz before. And so through the spirit, we're going to go into who Tammuz was, ultimately why that 4th month is called Tammuz. And, we're going to go into a couple of other things dealing with the 4th month as brothers trickle in. You can kind of call this a pregame coming into our 4th month. All right, so definitely want to give a shalom to the brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom to the elders, to the priests, to the captains, to the officers, and the soldiers of YAHAWAH'S camp. And shalom to the families of YAHAWAH'S camp and the families of all the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Mighty, mighty, mighty shalom to y'all brothers and sisters as well. All right, and shalom to the brothers and sisters coming into this truth that's looking for edification. Again, if you're in the Raleigh area, as always, reach out. Please subscribe to our channel. Reach out, and if you're in the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Fayetteville, Hope Mills area, Johnson County, Wayne County, Wake County, Durham County, Orange County, right? We definitely got a home for you dealing with the spirit of the doctrine of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, so we're going to get started as the Most High sees fit. All right, so Tammuz. All right, so as we got started, you guys are kind of coming into the middle of the conversation. But Tammuz, when you go into it, it's called Tammuz, going into the Hebraic calendar after Babylon, right? After the Babylonian captivity. All right, so after Babylonian captivity, you got a whole bunch of months that was named after the Babylonian customs. It's no different than brothers today and sisters today using the days of the week. Shalom, 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 family. So it's no different than brothers and sisters going into the days of the week. This month, as they would call us, Tammuz, which we're going to go into who that person is, all right? Just to kind of give a understanding of what I was talking about. After the exile in Babylon, Jewish communities, right, or the people of Israel, adopted several Babylonian months' names. So here's a few of them. Nisan. Anybody ever heard of Nisan? Right? Nisan. Ayar, Savan, Tammuz, Av, and Elul. All right? So I want brothers and sisters throughout this month to get a theme on this month coming up, right? And I want us to think about compromising. When I mean compromising, is really trying to have, anybody know the doctrine of Constantine, right? Constantine, who was Constantine? The Roman Emperor, right? Now, what was Constantine's problem? Shalom, King. Shalom, shalom. What was Constantine's problem in Rome? He had paganism, and then he had the early 1st and 2nd century Christians. All right? Cap, I got a chair for you up here, Cap. right? So think about this, right? He had to find a way to merge two belief systems into one kingdom to make things. Any ruler knows that you don't want civil war, right? Civil war is bad, right? Right? Everybody good with that? Civil war. So Constantine's problem was he had an issue with the early first century or even the early Christian church and who what we know of as today as the early forefathers of our faith, mixing it with the Roman pagans, which is why you get a lot of doctrine that we would say is pagan. All right, so I want people to understand throughout this month that the theme spiritually that the Most High just gave to me, Shalom, Captain, how about God, is merging or integrating with the other nations' doctrines, right? The other nations' faith system. Well, that's why we got Christianity today. Everybody understand? All right, so Tammuz, remember, what got the Israelites in captivity in Egypt? They were taking on the customs of the Egyptians, right? And then we needed a savior to bring us out of captivity and to give us laws, statutes, and commandments. All right? And then, of course, when we go in, the reason we go into Babylonian captivity, the southern kingdom, right, and northern kingdom went into Assyrian captivity is because of what? Breaking commandments and integrating with the surrounding nation's doctrine, right? So as Israel today in modern day spiritual Babylon, we got to be mindful of integrating with the people around us, their doctrine.
Assimilating.
Assimilate, yeah, that's right. And even the Torah portion, I was reading the Torah portion, and it's in Numbers, I believe it's Numbers 4, and it talks about a lot of it being an integration, right? Merging and making compromises to the other nations. Really, Numbers 4, 5, and 6 is about separation and being Kodash. That's the Hebrew word Kodash, being holy, being set apart. So even us in America, in Babylon, 2026, we have to think about being set apart. And I know it's tough because we make, sometimes we got to make concession for somebody that is coming into this thing. We got to make concession for somebody that may not be ready to get the full understanding, but we got to make sure that we don't integrate on that other side and go back. So before y'all showed up, and all praise to the Most High, the month is Tammuz when we left Babylon, but before that it's Rabbah, right? That's the number 4, or Reba, right? Or Reba, right? Which is we call it Tammuz after, but before that we just called it month 4. All right. So in Hebrew culture, right, we reference our months by the number, not by the names. And like we were saying, we adopted the names after the Babylonian captivity. And that southern kingdom, because the southern kingdom went into Babylon. All right. So example today, like we said, was days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you get a chance to check out Moon's Day, the Sun God, Sunday, Saturn's Day, things like that. The holy days as well, or holidays, Christmas, right? When you look at cornucopia, it's Thanksgiving. When you look at Ishtar, which is Easter, and you can go down and just check the histories on how these names really set a precedent on when we commune as people. I think everybody in here, besides the little ones, grew up outside the truth. So you have to show up at grandma's house December 25th. Thanksgiving, you better take your mom out on Mother's Day, Easter, right? And it's weird how those days had a set marked date and time, and that's not by coincidence. All right. So who was Tammuz? Anybody want to go into that? A Babylonian deity, right? Oh, praise. So can you give me Ezekiel 8 and 14? All right, let's get to Ezekiel 8 and 14. we're not going to be too long. We got the room, and then we're going to have priest Yakanan come in and actually bring in the new moon. But let's get Ezekiel 8 and 14. And as Officer Shalat said, this is a deity that was associated with fertility and vegetation. Right? A deity, a Babylonian and the Akkadian deity that was associated with fertility. In a lot of the surrounding nations, a lot of their deities were big on fertility. Right? Saturnalia, which we know as Christmas. These were the you would say the offspring or the byproduct, right, of Easter. Just count 9 months from December. Let's go back. You're going to get the same date that they celebrate Easter from, which we know is an Ishtar, right? So let's get Ezekiel 8 and 14, Kat, Mama Kashab.
God, this Ezekiel 8 and 14, it says, "Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz."
They were what?
Weeping for Tammuz.
So think about this. Why were women weeping for Tammuz? Why weep for a deity, right? So Tammuz, right, like we said, was a deity. Tammuz's death and resurrection was mourned, right? It was mourned by the people. That was a ritual that the people did, right? Zion Gabar, when you get a chance, can you get me Exodus 20, and let's get verse 1, right? Let's start from the first commandment of the Most High. The first commandment of the Most High, all right? So as he's getting that, right, Ezekiel 8 and 14, you see that the women were weeping for Tammuz. Now, Tammuz has an interesting myth, right? An interesting story. Now, we know that the deities of the other nations are nothing. However, in the name of their God, they conquered the name of the children of Israel. So when you understand history, the people will use their God to say that my God is better than your God because he gave us the victory and your God suffered defeat. They would actually match gods that way. All right? Everybody get what I'm saying? All right, let's get what you got, Officer Gabar.
Exodus chapter 8, verse
Chapter 20.
oh, 20,
20, come.
28.
20 verse 1. Come.
Exodus 20, chapter 20 from the top.
Uh-huh.
And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord, thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Read on.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Read that part again.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
See, the Most High God is jealous, right? Imagine a brother, right, coming home and his wife has another husband, right? Imagine the jealousy on that brother, right? When you have to entertain another man. Now that's how we deal with the Most High when we go into sin. When we worship other deities, it's the same as a man coming home and he's finding infidelity in his house. Right? The pain, that's the Most High is a jealous entity. He's a jealous power. So that anger, that hurt, and that anger that you would feel, that we would all feel, the Most High feels that when we went into and wept for Tammuz. Right? When you go into the scriptures, and we'll get it, not only were the women weeping for Tammuz, but the elders were also worshiping the sun god and worshiping the other deities. That was leadership going into idolatry. All right? Read that part again, Gabar.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Come on.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Come on.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above,
right?
or that is in the earth beneath.
And you see how he expounds on that, right? That the Most High is saying, don't make any idols, don't worship any other deities, but only the Most High. Read on.
Or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
Come on. And bowing down yourself is paying homage. But if you look at the rituals of how they treated Tammuz, they had to mourn. We're going to go into why mourning was essential for Tammuz. Read.
Nor serve them.
Nor serve them. Come on.
For I, the Lord, thy God, am a jealous God.
What kind of God is the Most High?
Jealous God.
He's a jealous God. So when we merge other cultures, when we merge the religions or the ways of Babylon, we're making the Most High jealous. So we got to be careful when we deal with the ways of Babylon. We got to be careful with a lot of it. You got to be set apart. But this takes a righteous spirit to even understand being set apart, right? And I know a lot of us. It's tough going out there teaching on the highways and byways because you're set apart in a cesspool of wickedness, and it's like you got a bubble that blocks you and protects you from the sin, right? Everybody can't go out there and teach because listen, you can fall back into the ways of the wicked, easy, right? It takes a certain discipline, all right? Cap, where you at? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Read Ezekiel 8 and 14 again.
Con, it's Ezekiel 8 and 14. It says, then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north.
Now think about this. The gate that was toward the north, right? You know, you had 4 ways to enter in, right? Everybody good with that. You had 4 ways you could, north, south, east, and west. So on the north gate of the Lord's house, people were worshiping another deity in the Most High's house, right? Come on.
And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Go
verse 13.
Verse 13, it says, he said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do.
That they do. Now let's start off at 12. Go back to 12.
Verse 12. Then said he unto me, son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark?
So who are the ancients of the house of Israel? That's the elders, right? The elders. Look, it said, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? Meaning when no one's looking. Right? We're about to go into something called hypocrisy. Right? The elders. That's why the scripture says that the pastors scattered the sheep. Because during that time, you had a lot of these elders that found themselves in idolatry, compromised by the ways of Babylon. Right? Read on, King.
It says, every man in the chambers of his imagery. For they say, the Lord seeth us not.
The Lord what?
The Lord seeth us not.
And now think about the pride and arrogance saying the Most High don't see what we about to do. Now we know that the scripture says that the Most High's eyes is what?
10 times brighter.
10 times brighter than the sun. Meaning he see everything. Go ahead.
The Lord seeth us not. The Lord hath forsaken the earth.
He's forsaken the earth. Read on.
He said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do.
Come on.
Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
Come on.
Then said he unto me,
Come on.
hast thou seen this, O son of
He
man?
said, have you seen it, O son of man? So they worship, you have the elders that were into idolatry. You have the young women that were weeping for Tammuz by name. Read on.
Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations
We got greater abominations. Read on.
than these. And he brought me into the inner court.
They into where?
Into the inner court.
Who can get into the inner court? The priests.
Yeah.
Right? Sanctified men. Let's see. Listen, by this point, the Most High is not in the temple at this point. He left. Right? They in Babylonian captivity. He said, bring me into the inner court. Watch this. Read.
Of the Lord's house.
Read.
And behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord,
The temple of the Most High God, Yahweh. Come on.
between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men with their backs toward the temple of the Lord, and their faces toward the east.
Come on.
And they worshiped the sun.
They worship who?
The sun
The sun
toward the east.
toward the east. We worship the Most High toward the east. They worship the sun. This ain't, listen, they were compromised by the nations around them. Right? And they were merging themselves into what they had going on, trying to fit in. Go ahead, read on, watch this.
Come, it says, then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here?
Come on.
For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose.
Come on.
Therefore will I also deal in fury.
And what?
In fury.
The Most High is going to deal with fury. The Most High is a jealous power. Come on.
Mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in my ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them.
Everybody understand? Right? Give me John 9:31. The Most High said, I'm not going to hear them. Right? The Most High said, I'm not going to hear them. Now, you see this in the New Testament. Somebody get John 9:31. Right? Because we got to understand that this information needs to get out. That you can't be in sin and ask for the Most High for anything. You can try, but the Most High ain't going to what? He ain't going to hear you. Right? Somebody get that. John 9:31.
St. John chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
The Lord does not hear sinners. Read on.
But if any man be a worshiper of God,
If you are a true worshiper of the Most High God, you cannot be in sin. Read.
and doeth his will,
And do the will of the Most High.
him he heareth.
Him he heareth. Right? The Most High told you to separate yourself. Right? To not follow a multitude to do evil. We got brothers in the time of Ezekiel, right, that was following themselves after the ways of the other nations. All right? So Tammuz's death and resurrection, right, mourning was essential. And it was celebrated annually, right, with rituals. He was also the husband of Ishtar. All right? Which where you get Easter from. Ishtar also went by the name of Inanna. Inanna, right? By the Akkadians and the ancient Babylonians. So what we got to understand about Ishtar first, all right? Before we go into Tammuz, we got to understand Ishtar. Ishtar descended into the underworld, okay? And she was imprisoned there. This is the idea of Ishtar going back to the when I say the Babylonians, ancient Babylonians. You got ancient Babylon and you got Neo-Babylon. All right? Neo-Babylon is during the time of Nebuchadnezzar. That's Neo-Babylon. But ancient Babylon is the time of Nimrod. Then you have the Tower of Babel. And then you had Neo-Babylon. That's later. All right? That's New Babylon. Neo means new. So during the old first civilization, which you could say would be the Sumerians, or the Sumerians and the Akkadian people, right? The idea, Shalom, King. YAHAWAH'S Shabbat. Ishtar descended into the underworld. She was imprisoned there, right? And then for Ishtar to return, she had to trade places with someone. She chose Tammuz. This is the whole deal. I'm summarizing it. Tammuz was chosen to go into the underworld, right? His return, they had to wait for him to return every day. So when the sun rose, in their mind, Tammuz was rising back from the dead. All right. The women, we at where we at, Kay? We at Ezekiel 8 and 14. Ezekiel 8 and 14. Right now we're going into Tammuz. The 4th month is called Tammuz after we left Babylon, the Babylonian captivity. Just to kind of give you a recap, right? That Tammuz, along with a slew of other names, is what we would call certain months. All right. Before Babylonian captivity, we just numbered them by numbers, right? After Babylonian captivity, we had some months named by names. So right now, the 4th month, we're in the 4th month, right? We're going into names, right? So you would see it as Tammuz. If you Google and say, what's the name of the 4th month in the Hebrew, you're going to see Tammuz. Right, and we're talking about who Tammuz was. All right, all right. So for Ishtar to return, she had to trade places with someone. Tammuz was the person that was chosen to go into the underworld in Ishtar's place. Tammuz return symbolizes a renewal for fertility and crop growth. So think about it. If you're a woman trying to have a child, who are you looking to? Tammuz. If you're a crop farmer, you need corn, you need berries, you need vegetables, fruits. Who are you praying to in that time? Tammuz. Right? No one's praying to the Most High God. They should, but there was, you had a few brothers that was into that, praying to the Most High, but most of the people was praying to Tammuz, praying towards the east, the sun god. They were trying all types of polylatreism. Right? All right. We'll finish this up real quick. Women needed to practice lamentation, right? That's what we're talking about. The lamentation, to lament oneself, right? And Israel adopted idol practices from the surrounding areas. That's why before you came in, we were going into being mindful, especially during this time, of assimilating with other nations, other cultures, religions, right? Officer Shapar, can you get Jeremiah 10? Let's get Jeremiah 10. Let's start at verse number 1. All right. And like I said, I'm not going to be out too much farther. The brothers got things they want to bring in, precepts. Bring them out. We got this room for another hour, right? So we're gonna be in the spirit. And if brothers need water, sisters need water, we got it in the back. We got the spring water in the back. All right. Let's go ahead and read what you got, King. Jeremiah 10. We're gonna read down to verse 4.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
It says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Come on.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen."
The Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. Real quick, I want to get that word learn in the Hebrew. Anybody got a concordance? Let's get that word learn in the Hebrew, right?
Use the blue letter.
You can use the blue letter. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get that word, because is it wrong for somebody to know the doctrine of Islam? Is it wrong for us to know the doctrine of Jehovah's Witness? There's nothing wrong with knowing it, but to learn it, that's a whole different thing, right? Let's get that word real quick. Let's get it in Jeremiah specifically. Jeremiah 10, right?
It's H3925. Lamah.
It's Lamah, right? Go ahead.
It says to learn, teach, exercise in, to learn, to teach, to be taught, to be trained.
To be trained, to exercise. Exercise means to what? To practice, right? Brothers want to get their chest right, they exercise on the bench press. They actually perform what they learn, right? So it says to learn, not basically you could say exercise not the way of the heathen. All right, read on.
It says, verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the sound of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Now that word dismay, you're looking at the word katha, which is to prostrate, to worship, right? To break, confusion or fear, amaze, dismay. All right. So really, it means to believe in, right? Dismay. Do not dismay at the signs of heaven. Go ahead.
Verse 3, for the custom of the people are vain.
They're what?
They're vain.
The custom of the people are vain. Imagine treading water in the ocean, only to sink. You're treading in vain. Right? Go ahead.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Read on.
The work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
Come on.
They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
That it moves not, right? So we know that goes into the origin of Saturnalia or Christmas, right? So do not be dismayed. A lot of us, when you come into the truth, right, you're gonna have a point where you either gonna dab a little bit with family, you're gonna compromise, or you're just gonna cut everybody off. But then later on, you find yourself saying, well, maybe I can go get a plate. Let me go holler at them. Let me go talk to mom and dad. Let me go holler at grandma. You know what I'm saying? You find yourself, at your people's house, compromising.
Kitchen table.
At the kitchen table. You say, I'm going to come in there with the precepts, and I'm going to convert everybody, and you leave them with a present.
Right.
A great and a pleasant.
I gotta do it for Mother's Day.
Yeah, you be like, dang, how did I leave with this gift?
For the kids.
For the kids, you know what I'm saying? And even with the children, you're gonna have some issues when the kids go to school and they got the holy days or the holidays that America gives, and you gotta tell your kid, nah, you gotta throw that out. I know it's a Valentine gift, but you gotta put that away. And they gotta learn that early. So a lot of it is trying to have a hard time. Like, we got it hard trying to send our kids to public schools, right? You know what I'm talking about. Send your kid to public school, hoping that they don't get indoctrinated, because they spend most time there. What, 5, 6, 7 hours a day? 5 days a week? Then you gotta take all that garbage out their head and then put this word in. But you only got but so much time.
And then they teach God is bad and lesbianism good.
Yeah. And that's what we talked about earlier, right? The surrounding culture, their doctrine is LGBTQ. And so you gotta tell your kids, and then here's the hard part. You know what I'm talking about, and you about to learn. You don't want your kid to go out there and say it too much, because they can't eloquate it as best as you can. They can't be politically correct to a certain extent. And your kid gonna be in there saying, white man and devil, and Santa Claus ain't real, and you gotta tell your kid, it's a fine balance.
You're gonna be in there saying this place gonna get burnt up.
This place, man, most high gonna burn this thing down. And they in the spirit, but you know what I'm saying, you gotta be mindful of that. It's an uphill battle.
Hey, Salakia, even when I was in school, I remember Esau and the heathen, man, they're crafty with that.
Yeah.
Like they got everything color coded, right? They got it all the bright lights and the bright colors. And
Man.
they're real crafty how they present that stuff to the kids. And
Yeah.
the kids, I mean, they know what they're taught at home, but you know, they're looking at these teachers and they're looking at what Esau's presenting them,
Come.
and they can be captivated very easily. You know?
Right, that's right. Man, I always say, man, Christmas is a hell of a demon. That's a hell of a spirit that get on our kids. You know, you look at nostalgia. We just reading Jeremiah 10. The nostalgia, right? The movies, the songs, the dress up,
Music, the radio.
the music, the colors,
Lights.
the lights, all that. And our kids get captivated. It's hypnotism. It's the spirit. So the scripture says, learn not. But how do you combat that here in Babylon when it's on every commercial from like October now all the way to January?
They put it in the cartoon.
They put it in the cartoon. You really can't combat it unless you got the Most High. Right? So we're talking about merging or the ability not to merge. All right? So Tammuz, right? We talked about how women wept for Tammuz. We just read that in Jeremiah 10, 1 through 4. Right? But then also, they prayed for Tammuz for that sunrise every day. They prayed for Tammuz for their pregnancy to have a good birth. How about for their vegetation, their crops, their household, all the peace that came with it. They had to mourn, and they probably was cutting themselves as the pagans and the heathens was into that stuff, right? All right, so with that mourning, it was taught to bring him back. How about this? The mixture of biblical practice and paganism is today's Christianity, right? You're going to admit, and so we talked about Constantine, and how Constantine, his biggest thing was, how do I get peace in my kingdom? So then you had about 325, these different ecumenical councils. And one of them is, what is Christ's deity? Now when you go into Tammuz and Ishtar, then you get into Semiramis, right? Then you get into who Nimrod is, and how Nimrod was born December 25th. Right? Ironically, they say Christ was born, and Krishna, and all the pagan and Horus, and all these different deities and pagans are all born the same day. But nowhere in this Bible do you see Christ, and y'all know this, you don't see Christ born December 25th. Right? But who made that? Those ecumenical councils. You never hear Arius' point of view. You always hear the Trinitarians and the doctrine of Christ being the Most High and the virgin birth. All right? And that's important because Arius, his books were burned. Some still around, but most of his books were burned. All right, so I got a few more, then we're going to wrap this up. And if brothers got something they want to, go into, we can do that, right? We can go into that. So I want to talk about the feast of the 4th, 5th, 6th, the feast of the 4th, 5th, 7th, and 10th month. Anybody heard of that? I didn't mean to say feast. The fasts, not the feast. The fasts of the 4th, 5th, 7th, and 10th month. And hopefully, say that again?
4th, 5th.
4th, the 4th month, the 5th month, the 7th month, and the 10th month. These were all designated fasts after Babylon that our brothers and sisters, our forefathers, partook in. All right, so let's get Zechariah 8 and 19. So we're just going to deal with the 4th month right now. We're not going to go into the 5th, 7th, and 10th month. Maybe when we come into those new moons, right, we'll go into that. But as of right now, we're just going to deal with the 4th month. Let's get Zechariah chapter 8, verse number 19. Praises to the Most High. Cat, you want to get that for us?
Carl, I got it.
As a matter of fact, can we get that in the NLT, or how you feel about that? Can somebody get that? Let's get it in the King James, and if somebody got blue letter, let's get it in the NLT.
All right, this is Zechariah 8 and 19. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month,
The 4th month,
and the fast of the 5th,
the fast of the 5th month,
and the fast of the 7th,
and the 7th month, go ahead,
and the fast of the 10th,
and the 10th month, read,
shall be to the house of Judah.
shall be to who?
The house of Judah.
The Most High is giving. Did it say the Most High said this? Thus saith Yahweh of hosts. So an angel is coming. When it says the Lord of hosts, you're talking about an angel speaking on behalf of the Most High. Right? The fast of the 4th, 5th, 7th, and 10th month shall be to the house of Judah. All right, go ahead.
Joy and gladness,
Uh-huh.
and cheerful feast.
Come on.
Therefore, love the truth and peace.
So is the Most High saying on these fast days, these days of fasting, that you're going to be happy? No, right? Let's get it in the NLT.
I got you.
Go ahead, bring it out.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 19.
In the NLT, come, bring it out.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts.
Uh-huh.
It sounds exactly the same. The fast of the 4th month, the fast, and the 5th month, and the fast of the 7th month, the 7th, and the fast of the 10th shall be to the house of Judah joy and gladness and cheerful feast. Therefore, love the truth and peace.
Is that what we go ahead, King. Okay, come.
I thought it's not the NLT?
That sounds like King James.
Yeah, but I put it on NLT. I don't know.
All right, go ahead. Read what you got.
Zechariah 8 and 19, the NLT says, "This is what the Lord of Heaven's armies says.
Uh-huh.
The traditional fast
The traditional fast, go ahead.
and times of mourning,
The times of what?
of mourning,
The times of mourning, go ahead.
you have kept in early summer."
Where?
In early summer.
What season are we in?
Early summer.
Early summer, go ahead.
Midsummer.
Midsummer,
Autumn.
autumn,
And winter.
and winter, go ahead.
Are now ended.
Are now what?
Are now ended.
Are now ended. Go ahead.
They will become festivals
He says in the future, they will become festivals, go ahead,
of joy
and
and celebration
Come on,
for the people of Judah.
go ahead.
So love, truth, and peace.
So now it reads differently in the NLT, right? The traditional fast of mourning will then turn to joy and peace, right? So now we got something to look forward to, right? They will become festivals of joy and celebration for the people of Judah. Why is that important, right? So these fast days were of mourning. During the 4th month, right? Let's get 2 Kings 25 and 2. All right, let's get 2 Kings 25 and 2. We're going to go into why they were fasting on the 4th month. All right. 2 Kings 25 and 2. Whoever got it, Cap, you got it, go ahead and bring it out, King Barbershop.
Come, the 2 Kings 25 and 2. And the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah.
So now we got the southern kingdom city being what? Besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. Go ahead.
And on the 9th day of the 4th
Of
month,
the what month?
of the 4th
So
month,
let's write down the 9th day of the 4th month. Alright. 9th day of the 4th month. All right. The 9th day of the 4th month, go ahead.
the famine prevailed in the city,
So you got the famine that prevailed in the city. Go ahead.
and there was no bread for the people of the land.
Come on.
And the city was broken up,
The city was what?
was broken
The
up,
city was broken up. Go ahead.
and all the men of war fled by night.
The men of war fled. They ran. They became cowards. Go ahead.
By the way of the gate between two walls.
So instead of us weeping for Tammuz and fasting for Tammuz, We see our people had to fast because the men of war, the valiant men, right, became cowards. They ran, they hid. Go ahead.
which is by the king's garden.
Come on.
Now the Chaldees
Who are the Chaldees? The Babylonians. Go ahead.
were against the city round about,
Come on.
and the king went the way toward the plain.
Come on. And the king did what?
Went the way toward the plain.
King running. Everybody running. Let's get somebody real quick. Hold that. Let's get Deuteronomy 7:6. Sometimes, we forget who we are as a people. Sometimes we cower, right? But you know what makes you cower the fastest? You know what takes away your strength? Sin. Right? Sin takes away your strength. Sin says, you know what? That's my kryptonite. I really can't go to war because I'm weak in the faith. And I'm weak in the faith because I've been disobedient. Let's get Deuteronomy 7:6. Whoever got it, go ahead and bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Come on.
For thou art a holy people
Come on.
to the Lord thy God.
Uh-huh.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee
The Lord chosen thee, come on.
to be a special people,
What kind of people?
special people
A special people, come on.
unto himself,
Come on.
above all people,
Where?
above all people,
Where?
above all people.
Above all people, not running away. Right? Above all people, come on.
that are upon the face of the earth.
All praise to the Most High. Everybody understand the power we have when we not going towards kryptonite. Right? When we have, what's funny with Superman, what's his name? And anybody know Superman's name? Kal-El. Which is what? In Hebrew. What is Kal-El in Hebrew? All power. El is power, right? Kal is all. So Superman's name is all power. But listen, you lose your power when you start dabbing into that, compromising with the nations around you. You start compromising. Sometimes I'll be out there working, and they ask me all kind of stuff. What's your sign? I start telling people, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I used to know. I don't know no more. Start playing dumb. It mess them up. It mess them up. I don't know. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I be dealing with. And y'all be dealing with it when y'all be out there teaching. Sometimes you can't really entertain that other side. You know what I'm saying? You gotta separate. That's why I was saying in the Torah portion this week, it was about separating. And the Most High put it on my spirit to bring out separation in these last days.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead, bring it out.
Just going into what you're saying about when the Most High is with us and being men of war. This is Joshua 1:5. It says, "There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. And as I was with Moses, I will be with thee. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Verse 6, be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto thy fathers to give them."
Come. That's right. You wanna go into that, Ken?
I mean, just like you were saying, when the Most High is with us, like he says in Joshua, man, nobody can stand against us.
Right.
Going into that Deuteronomy 7:6. But once we're in sin, we use that hedge of protection. Like it says in Psalms, the Most High will put his angels around you. They're going to fight for you.
We're gonna come right back, Joshua. Hold on. I want to bring this out because Officer Park brought something heavy out. I want to read this real quick in Deuteronomy 1, verse 41. This is Deuteronomy 1 and 41. Then he answered and said unto me, we have sinned against Yahweh. So the people is in sin. We will go up and fight. Now think about what they're saying. We sinned against the Most High. We're about to go out and fight. Is that smart? Is it smart to go and be in sin and say, we're going to go out to go to war and fight? We have sinned against the Most High. We will go up and fight according to all that Yahweh our power commanded us. And when ye have girded on every man his weapons of war, you were ready to go up into the hill. And the Most High said unto me, say unto them, go not up, neither fight, for I am not among you, lest ye be smitten before your enemies. So I spake unto you, and ye would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of the Most High. Now think about that. Not only was you in sin, but the Most High said, don't go and fight, and you went anyway. You know what I'm saying? You go and you add the sin unto sin, and we dealing with people's lives, right? Men, they got families, and you in sin, we going anyway, right? And went presumptuously up into the hill. And the Amorites, anybody heard of Amorites? Very, very powerful army, right? Very mighty men, right? The Amorites, which dwelt in that mountain, came out against you and chased you as bees do, and destroyed you in Seir, even unto Hormah. And ye returned and wept before the Most High. But the Most High would not hearken to your voice, nor give ear unto you. You see how that works? Right? So when we talk about what Officer Shafar was going into, you know, that sin or keeping the commandments really is a hedge of protection. All right?
So I was going to say, it made me think about David.
Yeah.
David would consult with the Most High whether or not he should go to war.
Right.
And when he was off, you know, the Most High, he was like, you know, you can lose battles and put a famine on you. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wages of sin.
That's heavy. You know what's heavy is we got a cheat code because we got the history of our forefathers. So we can read 2 Kings 25. We can read Deuteronomy 1. We can read the examples of our brothers and say, yeah, look, we probably shouldn't do this and do that. I probably should fall back. Let me clean myself up. Right?
Just like nowadays, Moses pretty much said it too. We're not prepared to go to war until YAHAWAH'S come back.
Here we go.
So you know what I'm saying? Do the laws the best of your abilities until that time, until the 144,000 sailed.
Yeah.
So when people talk about how we're an aggressive group, no, we're not going to war with nobody.
That's heavy. You said that, King, because yeah, like the scripture says, we'll see eye to eye when Shiloh come. We really can't do anything. We won't do anything. And if any Israelite group is out there saying we're gonna do it now, they moving out of the spirit. Right? We don't have leadership of a divine leadership. So if anybody's saying we're gonna do this and do that, you know, we vehemently disagree, and we separated ourselves from even those Israelite groups, right? Being purified, being separated. All right. Let's go ahead and finish that out, Kat.
God, this 2 Kings chapter 25, and I stopped at verse 4. So verse 5, it says, and the army of the Chaldees pursued after the king and overtook him in the plains of Jericho. And all his army were scattered from him. So they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon, to Riblah, and they gave judgment upon him.
They gave judgment upon him, right? The other nations was judging a king of Israel, right? That's crazy, because the king of Israel, the kings, we're going to be giving judgment to the other nations. Lord willing, go ahead.
And they slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes.
They did what?
And they slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes.
They killed that man's sons in front of him. Go ahead.
And put out the eyes of Zedekiah.
And they took the eyes of that brother. Go ahead.
And bound him with fetters of brass.
He went into captivity. Go ahead.
And carried him to Babylon.
And carried him to Babylon. Go ahead. That's it on that? Yeah, that's it on that, right? So now we understand why, right? We understand why the fourth month there was a fast. All right, let's get Ezekiel 16 and 8. I got a few more, that'll be it. Let's get Ezekiel 16 and 8. Shapar, can you get Isaiah 61 from the top? So like Isaiah 61 and 3. And then let's get Ezekiel 16 and verse 8. Oh, let me get there. What you got? I'm there, King.
16 and 8.
Yep. So real quick, Salaki, let's go back real quick. I want to point something out. Let's go back to Zechariah 8 and 19. Alright. Somebody get Zechariah 8 and 19. I want to get something real quick. Matter of fact, I can get it. Because remember the last part of that scripture, right? Zechariah 8 and 19. In the NLT. Who had it in the NLT? Okay, yeah, get it in the NLT real quick. The last part was talking about redemption. I don't know if brothers caught that. But the last part was talking about being redeemed, restoration. Go ahead.
Zechariah 8 and 19 in the NLT. This is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. The traditional fast and times of mourning you have kept in early summer, midsummer, autumn, and winter are now ended.
Mm-hmm.
They will become festivals of joy and celebration.
So now we're gonna look back on this and say these were all memories, and we're gonna drink good, we're gonna eat well, and we're gonna remember our ancestors, our forefathers that went through hell, right, in this Babylonian captivity. We're gonna remember the days of old and read about these and tell our children, right? We're gonna tell our young children, our young daughters, our young sons, right? But then it's gonna end up reversing, and it's going to be a day of gladness and joy, right? Is that it on that?
It's still a little bit left.
Go ahead.
It says they will become festivals of joy and celebration for the people of Judah. So love, truth, and peace.
Now, when you go into the context, this is talking about in the kingdom or going into the kingdom, because later on it talks about how the other nations are going to grab the skirt and say, "We're going to go with you." And if you actually line these things up, this also goes into the new covenant being displayed for everybody to say, "Oh, those blacks, Latinos, Native Americans were actually telling the truth, and the covenant does go through them. I need to get on with them now before we become destroyed." So all that is going to be actually transparent to the other nations. Everybody get that, right? So let's go back. All right, where we at? Let's finish it out with Ezekiel 16 and 8. Yep, because now what Shalak just read was the restoration. Let's show you how the Most High is going to speak on our restoration, how we're going to be restored. All right, go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 8.
Now,
when I pass by thee and look upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love.
So we got to look forward to the Most High giving us a time of love. Before that, he was talking about the time and how we were dirty. You know, just go down New Bern Avenue, right? Just go down New Bern Avenue. You see our people spiritually, but that physical manifestation on New Bern. Any MLK around the nation, right? You're going to see our people at a lower state. All right? But it says now, right? The time of love is at hand. Go ahead.
And I spread my skirt over thee.
So the Most High is putting a skirt that's going to shield us from our nakedness, being exposed, being ashamed. Go ahead.
And cover thy nakedness. Yea, I swear unto thee, and enter into a covenant with thee.
And that's the new covenant we're talking about. Well, we ain't got to teach our neighbor anymore. We ain't got to teach our brother anymore. The least to the highest is going to what? Know it. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord God, and thou becamest mine.
And that's all 12 tribes being what? Being grafted back in. The Most High said, you're going to become mine. Go ahead.
Then washed I thee with water.
That's the purification. Go ahead.
Yea, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee.
The blood represents the sin. Go ahead.
And I anointed thee with oil.
It's like you're getting out that shower. You put what on? You put lotion. You put the oils on. You smell good. Go ahead.
I clothed thee also with broidered work. And shod thee with badger skin.
Go ahead.
And I girded thee about with fine linen.
The Most High put us in nice fabrics and nice clothes, right? Go ahead.
And I covered thee with silk.
Look at that, right? You see in the restoration, the Most High is covering us with silk. Go ahead.
I decked thee also with ornaments, and I put bracelets upon thy hands, and a chain on thy neck.
You see that the Most High is showing us what to look forward to. Go ahead, Kat.
And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head.
Go ahead.
Thus wast thou decked with gold and silver, and thy raiment was of fine linen.
Go ahead.
And silk embroidered work. Thou didst eat fine flour and honey and oil, and thou wast exceeding beautiful. And thou didst prosper into a kingdom.
Into a what?
Into a kingdom.
Into a kingdom. Right? This is what you got to look forward to. Let's get that last verse, verse 14.
And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty.
Now we're going to see that's that restoration, that beauty. Go ahead.
For it was perfect through my
The
comeliness.
Most High saying you're beautiful through His coming, through His eyes. Brothers are going to be shining. Sisters are going to be shining. Sisters are going to be, in that glorious estate. Brothers in that glorious estate. It's talking about spiritual bodies, right? Being healed from infirmities and all types of physical and spiritual ailments. Right? Go ahead.
Which I have put upon thee, saith the Lord God.
Said the Lord of God. Let's get Isaiah 61 and 3.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3.
Come on.
It says, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion.
Now this is going into the gospel. When we teach this gospel to our people, we're talking about the idea of being restored. Right? It makes you teach it differently when you're saying, I need to restore that sister. I got to restore that brother. You see our people all the time, right? Jacked up, drugged out. I see a lot, man. They just be walking on the middle of the street. They don't care about getting hit. None of that. They're so far gone.
They're like zombies walking down the street.
They're like zombies out. Now imagine that zombie being restored and they being a right mind. It's going to take a miracle. You remember New Jack City? Remember Pookie? Imagine, like you couldn't get him off that stuff, right? It had to be divine. Now imagine that being turned, right? We think about the things that we deal with as brothers and sisters in this truth. All right, go ahead, King.
Verse 3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes.
So we're going to trade the ashes. We're going to trade in beauty. I want the beauty. I'll give you the ashes. Go ahead.
The oil of joy for mourning.
We're going to trade that oil of joy for mourning. I'll give you my mourning. Give me the oil of joy. Right? Go ahead.
The garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness.
I'm going to get that spirit of heaviness off you. And I'm going to exchange that for a garment of praise. Go ahead.
That they might be called trees of righteousness.
Go ahead.
The planting of the Lord, that He might be glorified.
And that's how you glorify the Most High. Right. All right, I got one more. Let's get Isaiah 35 and 9. And then that'll be it, right? Happy New Moon to the brothers and sisters. Let's get Isaiah 35 and verse number 9. I think we're just waiting on the elders. Well, I think we're just waiting on Elder Kushaka now. Look. All right. Go ahead, Kat.
Con, you said verse 9.
Yes, sir.
Con, this Isaiah chapter 35, verse 9. No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there.
The redeemed shall what?
Shall walk there.
Right. So what we're saying is, it's talking about that highway, right? In verse number 8, right? Going into that holiness, right? Going into that being set apart, being separated, Right? Go ahead, let's get verse 10.
And the ransom of the Lord shall return.
And we're going to be the, Lord willing, right? We're going to be the ransom of the Most High. All right? Don't let this work you putting in go in vain. Right? Endure it to the end. Don't just dabble. I dabbed in it for a few years and then I'm out. People falling out left and right. It ain't a sudden drop off, right? These drop offs be starting 6-7 months in advance. A year ago, right? Somebody probably say, I don't want to do this. Right? Don't let this go in vain. Don't let this, you don't want to go back into the world.
I have a precept.
Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm.
Thou art what?
Lukewarm.
Call the book, chapter, verse again.
Book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 16.
Revelation 3:16. Say it, read it.
So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot,
Go ahead.
I will spew thee out my mouth.
The Most High said, I will spew you out the mouth. Go ahead.
That's it.
That's it on that. You see that? Because brothers and sisters, right? Listen, you sisters can also be lukewarm. Right? It's not just on the men. I know we've been getting a lot of, rightfully so, right? Because the men lead the household. But sisters got to put their brick in.
I can jump down to 19.
Go ahead, bring it out.
Revelations 3, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
As many as I love, I rebuke and chastise.
Uh-huh.
Be zealous, therefore.
He said what?
Be zealous, therefore.
What is zeal? What is zealous?
Passion.
Passion. Imagine somebody, Zanzibar, they just won the championship, right? You had that passion, right?
That ain't my team.
That-
That's just my city.
There you go back there. He was on
There you
fire.
go. Right. That's why Elder Saquon out here today. Right? That passion, we gotta be fanatics with this as well. Right? You a fan of the Most High. Go ahead.
Be zealous, therefore, and repent.
And repent. Go ahead.
That's it.
That's it on that. All praises. All praises. Beautiful precept. All right, beautiful precept. Let's finish verse number 10. Baba Kashan.
I'm going to start again from the top. It says, and the ransom of the Lord shall return, and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads.
Uh-huh.
They shall obtain joy and gladness.
They shall obtain what?
Joy and gladness.
Joy and gladness. Go ahead.
And sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
You see, we talk about the restoration, right? Sighing and sorrow shall flee away, right? To give you what? Beauty for ashes. All right. As we go into the new moon, right? That's all I had on that. Brothers want to say something before we close that part out? Anybody want to add anything? Got? Anybody good? Okay. Let's get Psalm 81. Let's go ahead and bring that out as we coming into the new moon. Let's get Psalm 81 and 3. And Zanzibar, can you get the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 43, and let's get verse number 6. Just a little touch up as we go into the new moon. A few precepts that we can just kind of go into.
I don't have my pocket.
Okay. You got it? Ecclesiastes 43 and 6.
Oh, I think it says Psalms.
Let's get Psalm 81 and 3. You got your apocrypha? Okay. Oh, he got it. Okay.
I got the song.
All right. Cat got the song. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 81, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day.
On our solemn feast day. Right? Go ahead.
For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the God of Jacob.
So we understand why it's important that we abide in the commandments of God. right? A law of the power of Jacob. Go ahead.
This he ordained
Uh-huh.
in Joseph for a
Who
testimony.
was the he? In verse 5. Who ordained it? The Most High. Right? The Most High ordained it. So if the Most High ordained it, we must comply, right? Alright. This he ordained, go ahead.
When he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not.
Come on.
I removed his shoulder from the burden.
Uh-huh.
His hands were delivered from the pots.
And that's the Most High delivering us from captivity. That's why it's essential that these new moons are kept and observed, because it's synonymous with our Exodus. Right? Go ahead.
Thou calledest in trouble, and I delivered thee.
Now it's only possible that he hears your prayer is if we are compliance, right? We're doing the right thing. Go ahead.
I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee at the waters of Meribah.
Go ahead.
Salah. Hear, O my people, and I will testify unto thee, O Israel,
Go ahead.
if thou wilt hearken unto me.
If thou will hearken unto me. Right, so we see how it's important. Let's get Numbers 10. Right, let's get Numbers chapter 10. All right, let's get verse 2, and then we're going to jump down to verse 10. And Shalak, can you get Isaiah 66?
I got that side right.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and bring that Sirach out.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 43. I'm going to start at verse 5.
Okay, come.
It says, great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment it runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of time.
For a declaration of time. When you go to Genesis 1:14, sun, moon, and stars is telling you to declare the times. Right? Go ahead.
And a sign of the world.
So we understand what season we in by the new moon. Right? Even when you understand how the constellations, not astrology, just the constellations, how the stars are set up, certain parts of your hemisphere and your stratosphere, and in your and in the sky, you know what season you in based on how these constellations are set up.
It's like a clock, a calendar.
It's a clock or a calendar. That's right. It's declaring the time. Go ahead.
Verse 7. I'm starting verse 7.
Go ahead.
From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection.
So when is the moon perfect? When? Say it. Wait. Y'all said the same. Say it again.
As it decreases.
As it increases?
Decreases.
Decreases. Okay. And what phase would it be in?
Wayne.
It'll wane from where though? When is the moon perfect?
It's right from
Full moon, right? Full moon. And then it decreases, so it's gonna wane. Alright? Waning means it's gonna go to the full moon, it's gonna move, the light's gonna move to the left of it, right? It's interesting how we read right to left, and that new moon goes what? Right to left. Right? So it's gonna decrease in her perfection. Verse 8.
Verse 8. The month is called by her name.
The month is called by her name. Go ahead.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing.
So it's got an increase in the changing. Go ahead.
Being an instrument of the armies above.
It's going to be an instrument for the armies above. Now watch this. We saw the moon had to decrease when it was perfect. We said the perfect moon was full, right? But then it's going to increase in the changing. All right, now watch this. Read.
It says, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven.
So we see the newest moon shines in the firmament of heaven. All right? The new moon shines in the firmament of heaven. For it to shine, it has to have some sort of what? Light. For it to be considered new, it has to have some sort of light shining ideally, you can't see a dark room, right? It's dark, but a little bit of light. If I'm a night watcher, and I blow the shofar right around this time, because I see something, it's got to be what? A light that shines in the firmament of heaven. As it's what? As it's new. What Officer Shapar just read is, as it's new, it shines in the firmament of heaven.
So it's like a rebirth, that first sliver.
That first sliver is basically a new birth. You can't see it if you don't see it. How you know it? Right? You see a little bit of light. That's what we just said. Verse 8, the month is called after her name. When do you name the month? In the middle of the month? At the beginning, right? So the new moon will be named after her month. Increasing wonderfully. The only way a moon can increase is if it starts from the right. It starts new. Okay? It says, increasing wonderfully in her changing. That's the phases. Being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. So the context is talking about new in verse 8. If it shines in the firmament of heaven, it has to have a sliver. There's no other phase other than a sliver where I can shine a new moon and it still increases. All right, let's get verse 9.
Verse 9, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord.
You see how we're still talking about a new moon and it's giving light. Right, go ahead.
Verse 10, at the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches.
And never faint in their watches, all right? So that's just an understanding on the sliver. And you can just go right to the Apocrypha. You don't have to go to, you can go to extra biblical sources. And you can see how the early Akkadian, the Sumerians, were keeping time by the first light. And then who's the youngest nation is Israel, right? Because we're after Esau, we're after Ishmael, we're after Moab, we're after Ammon. Like we're the youngest nation. How would we learn how to tell time?
From our older brothers.
Our older brothers, our forefathers. So if you take that mindset all the way back to the early civilization, you just do a little research, you'll see that the early civilizations were doing it by the first light. They all kept new moon, and it was by the first light. And that's what the Most High gave mankind. All right. Let's get Numbers 10 going into the shofar. And we just kind of just in the spirit. I know brothers got something they want to bring out. Go ahead and bring that out. Let's get Numbers 10 and verse number 2.
Kind of Numbers 10 and 2. Make thee 2 trumpets of silver. Of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly, and for the journeying of the camps.
All right, so you see right here that the trumpet, the shofar, was made to assemble, right? I want us to think about during the time of our forefathers, foremothers, aunts, uncles, right? You would need to sound the shofar at the sighting of the new moon so that no one misses feast days. You wanted everybody to be accountable, no excuses, right? Everybody knows to be accountable because we all assemble on the new moon. All right, go ahead, King. Let's jump down to verse number 9.
Con, it says, and if ye go to war in your land.
If we do what?
Go to war in your land.
We go to war in our land. Go ahead.
Against the enemy.
Against the enemy, right? Ain't this our land? Right? The scriptures say whenever mankind dwelt, and we set up shop in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. And when you go in the scriptures, 2nd Ezra 6, it says the world was made for our sake.
So where you put lay your feet, that's your land.
That's us, right? So knowing that, we know that even in America, when we go to war in our land, right, what are we supposed to do? Go ahead, Cap.
Against the enemy that oppresseth you.
That what?
That oppresseth
We
you.
all going through that. Go ahead.
Then ye shall shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered.
We're gonna be remembered. Go ahead.
Before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies.
We're gonna be saved from your enemies. Go ahead.
Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days,
And in your solemn days, go ahead.
and in the beginnings of your months.
So now we see Psalms 81 in verse 3. You see the Torah in the beginning of your months. Read.
Ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God.
Go ahead.
I am the Lord your God.
All praises, right? So you see that last part that you see in Torah, why it's important for us to have a shofar, blow shofars, because we're in captivity. And how do we defeat Jericho? We blew shofars, right? We blew the shofar. We called upon the highest power, and he delivered us from our enemies. All right? I got last one. Anybody got that? Isaiah 66?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Con. All praises to water for holding that, King.
Did you want verse 23?
Yes, sir. Yep, Isaiah 66. Get verse number. Let's start at verse. Actually, you know what? Let's start at verse 22.
Okay. Isaiah 66 and 22. For the new heavens and the new earth.
The new heavens, new earth is going into the kingdom. All right. Read again.
For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith Yahweh, so shall you see, and your name remain.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon.
From what?
From one new moon.
So we in the kingdom. And the Most High said, from one new moon.
From one new moon to another. And from one Sabbath to another.
Come on.
Shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord.
Read on.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me.
So you're thinking about how people are going to look back and see the sinners, their carcasses. This is a vision. The people that don't make the kingdom, but in the kingdom, you got new moons. Right? Go ahead.
For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
Abhorring to all flesh. All right, so I want to say Asher Kadash Yarak, which is happy new moon, as we go into the 4th month. Anybody, we're getting ready to close it out. Just want to just get those precepts and those scriptures out. Everybody good? Everybody want to add anything before we shut it down? All right. Well, with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to YAHAWAH'S, Shema Mashiach, Yahushua. We're going to wait for grace.